of how to properly place the nipple shield, because that is something I see happen often, and it's no fault of your own if you're not actually ever shown how to properly place the nipple shield. There are many people I work with that it's quite literally this motion. They just sort of get ready to feed baby, they take the shield and they just pop it right on their nipple that way. If you're able to do that, usually the shield is a little bit too large. The appropriate way to apply the shield, oh, I see that there's another comment. I think there's just a delay because I only have one showing right now. So when it pops up, if it's a question, I promise I'll answer it. But with the shield, there we go. You will actually want to completely flip it when you're putting it on. So you want to flip the shield so that it actually sort of looks like a little top hat almost, if you can see that okay. It's sort of inverted, and then what you do is from here you want to actually just stretch it a little bit and put it over the nipple and then flip it outwards. So the reason we want to do it that way is so that you get a nice tight seal on the breast. What happens a lot of the time is that it can be, there we go, loose on the sides, and I've seen a lot of babies who, when they're feeding, the shield is sort of like flapping, or you can kind of just see it moving as the baby is feeding, and so that's really telling me that it's not necessarily in the best place. It could be that the latch isn't deep enough and that is affecting it, or it could be that the shield just isn't placed correctly. So that is something that you want to do. And so all I did was just flip it. So you take the, sorry, this is opposite for me. You just sort of use your thumb. It's when it's silicone, it bends pretty easily, and you just kind of flip it so that it looks like this little top hat, and then apply it that way. Because yeah, we want to make sure that it is snug, that we don't want it to be too tight, because what actually can happen is the holes in the shield here, sometimes nipple tissue can actually be pulled through there, which is going to cause a lot of pain and discomfort. But it should be a snug fit so that your baby can latch onto it and that they're still able to draw it in far enough so that it doesn't hurt. If your baby is latched with a shield and breastfeeding is still hurting, it's likely that they're just still really only on the nipple. So again, there could be an underlying reason why they're not latching deeper, or it could be that the shield is just not necessarily on correctly. It could be that it's too large, and then your baby's just having a hard time with how it's positioned in their mouth. We always want to keep in mind your anatomy, your baby's anatomy and size, especially if it's a preterm infant using a nipple shield, we want to go with the smallest shield that's going to fit you comfortably so that it's easier for them to latch.